Coming to a really important part of the lunch. This is a charity that we have supported in the years past, and we think is a fantastic one. It's not political, it is just helping kids in developing countries by building schools, because education ultimately is the foundation for all positive things. And it's also supported by an incredible group of executives from the advertising industry. So we wanted to highlight, and I now welcome up Jay Sears to come and chat about Team Dayā. And yes, I will be calling upon you to maybe pitch in and do some good.
All right, thanks Terry. I'm Jay Sears, you guys can come up. And we're just gonna tell some stories, and then I'm gonna pass it to Nicolle and Mike there and give you some color on actually what we do at Team Dayā. Anybody?
I know it's
Anybody? There we go. Okay. So, like I said, we raise money from this community, from the ad tech community. Team Dayā is really born out of people in this room and this industry. We have over 1,000 financial supporters across the ad tech ecosystem, many of you in this room, and then many CEOs, founders, other executives that you know. Big support from Jeff Green at the Trade Desk, also his family foundation, Eric Mathewson at Wide Orbit, Mike and his company, Daytonics, and if Shiv Gupta is in the room, I know he's here today, View of Digital, he's also been a very stalwart supporter of Team Dayā. So what we do is we raise money from this community and we construct very basic primary schools in remote locations in developing countries. And we can build a school for $40,000 US. So that's the bogey for today. And here's someone some of you might know. This is Jordan Mitchell. He's a longtime executive at Rubicon Project or Magnite. And also helped run Ivy Tech Lab. This is the first school project in 2019 in the Western Terai of Nepal. And Jordan was the first one that took shovel to ground. This is the groundbreaking ceremony. And I'm going to show you what this turned into in a minute here. But before I do that, can everybody take their phone out? I actually want you to take your phone out and point it to this QR code. Okay? Because you're going to get a personal appeal from Terry. You're going to learn a little bit more about our project. And for those of you so inclined, you can help us hit that $40,000 net. So Jordan took the first shovel of dirt, and this is what we do when we go to school builds around the country. And if you look carefully, that is the outline of what turned into a 3-room schoolhouse for the children of Dayā or Nepal. And this is the result. So Mike was on this particular school build. We went back to Nepal just 2 months ago in March. And before we did our new project, we went back to the school we built in 2019. This is what you get for your money. This is kids in school. And I need to explain to you the impact, not just on the kids, but on the families and on the overall economic health of these communities. And also, if I could see a show of hands, who here has a daughter? Okay. One of the development methodologies when we provide funding that has got to be agreed to in order for the school to be built is equal access for girls and boys. Okay. That doesn't always happen in communities like this. So by participating, each of you become a catalyst. And we talk a lot about building change. this is much bigger than building schools. We're really transforming communities. Like I said, it's the kids, it's the families, it's the wider community. Okay, this is when I'm going to cue my teammates here. You have, for people that want to, you can actually come with us on a school build. So when we started Team Dayā, a lot of people said, oh, I write a check, I support lots of different charities. I'm not quite sure what happened. Where do the funds go? And so part of what we incorporated from the very beginning was an ability for people so inclined to come and bear witness and be part of the process of building change in these communities. So you can go to, Nicole's going to talk about Malawi. Mike has been to Senegal, Guatemala, and was just with us in Nepal. And I will tell you, it is transformative for these communities, but also for each of us that get the privilege of going. So.
Hi everybody, Nicolle Pangis. So Jay asked me to share a little bit about my experience in Malawi, we just went this past summer. I, like many of you in the room, was a donor from the time that Jay started Team Dayā. I just really believed in the cause, and I think we all are in a media bubble, and we all try to find ways to help, because we're all very privileged. If you're sitting in this room, you're privileged. And when I heard about the cause, I always donated, and I always told Jay, one of these days, I want to do a build. Singular build is what I have in my head. So fast forward, I go to Malawi with the team last summer, and you see things when you're there that you can't comprehend. For example, I saw women my age who, when you go there, you sign a covenant, and the covenant includes some of the things that Jay said. So for us to build a school, the community has to donate certain supplies that were local to them. They have to commit a certain amount of hours of volunteer work alongside us coming over to help build the school. Women and men have to be equally educated, et cetera, et cetera. But what you see also is that many women in particular, adult women who are mothers, couldn't sign their name because they don't have enough education to sign their name. And so there was an ink pad for these women to ink their thumbs. Another example is the host family that we stayed in. You stayed in a hut, no doors, so you can hear everything that's going on. And I heard the 10-year-old daughter, I happen to have a 10-year-old myself, with a hack and cough over multiple days, and we're trying to talk to the mother to try to, as much as we could, understand if the girl was okay. And she, after 3 nights of this, increasingly sick, I went to the charity organizer and I said, can you please come, because this girl is really, really sick and I really think she needs a hospital. Long story short, the public hospital was too far for them to travel, so there's no transportation. The private hospital they couldn't afford. And the punchline is the private hospital only cost $8. The girl had malaria and pneumonia. So you hear these stories, and when you build a school, you're building change, because in our case in Malawi, 5th and 6th grade children were going to school, or in many cases not going to school, because there was a hut with holes in the ceiling, so during rainy season they would just stop going to school. And so when you're building transformation in these communities, these are now kids that can be educated to go past the 5th and 6th grade so they can get into 7th and 8th grade, which is not the norm in these communities, in these remote communities. And so my ask is not just to donate, but also if some of us in this room can just go even once. My plan is to go once a year, I told Jay. You will see, and you will be able to bring back these stories, and I promise you, you're going to help people, but I am changed as a result of my experience in Malawi.
I'm Mike Benedek, and my experience really echoes what Nicolle described. I first heard about Team Dayā when I met Jay at the IB Leadership Conference back in 2017 or 2018. And then in 2019, there was an announcement that there was going to be an info session at the LUMA partner's office, and I saw that. I wasn't able to attend, but I called up Jay and I said, I remember our conversation from before, I really want to get involved. And it's been, I have to say that we all talk about ROI here. The ROI is something that can't even be described. The investment you make in your donation, in traveling to these places, is something you get back 10 times over on a personal level, but also you see the change that you're making in these villages. So just think about it, building a school, and you have, let's say, 200 kids in this school for the next 20, 30 years. They actually have a school that they can go to. And in Senegal, so I actually was on, I've been fortunate to raise funds for and travel to 3 separate school builds. 2022 was Senegal, that was my first one. 2023 was Guatemala, and 2024 I did Nepal. In 2023, I was on my way to Malawi for my second school build of that year, but I was going hiking and I broke my ankle. And so I had to fly back to the US, so I missed that one. But I can't even describe to you the feeling when you arrive in the village, you see the kids, that you actually live in the home of a host family. So you create a deep relationship with them over 4 or 5 days. They're translators on site. And never mind that, but it's also the learning that you get. And what Nicolle described, what Jay described about the plight of women. So I have a son, I don't have a daughter, but the thing that touched me the most was that disparity between the way boys are treated and girls are treated. And it wasn't in one country, it was in every single country. It was in Senegal, it was in Guatemala, it was in Nepal, which I just came back from. And in each of these cities, if a family has funds for only one child to go to school, the girl never goes to school. The girl ends up in the kitchen or doing some menial work in the home. And by doing what we're doing, we're changing the lives of these women. And what you see on the work site is the mothers are the ones that are digging ditches next to us. Some of you will see pictures from Guatemala, women that have babies strapped onto their back, digging ditches. Because, and the other thing is the personal connection. The people that we met in Guatemala and Senegal are still what's upping with us today. So it's just, it's hard to describe. You have to experience it yourself. So like Jay said, like Nicolle said, anything you can do to help us get another school built. $40,000 is not a huge sum of money for the people in this room. Let's all take a look at that QR code, see what we can do, and let's do it. Let's build change. And thank you to Jay for your inspiring leadership, and to Terry and his team.
Yeah, so just quickly, I'm going to hand it to Terry for the good part here. There's a lot of joy in doing this. When you go, there are lots of laughs, there are lots of happy tears, and a good life is one full of stories, and we promise a lot of stories. Next slide, please. This is the school we built in Senegal. Mike was on this build. If you look in the back right of this photograph, that is where they were going to school. That building in the back right is, without exaggeration, it's built out of sticks and straw and pieces of cardboard. Think about it. Next slide. This is what Nicolle spoke about. This goes back to the first school in Nepal. If you see here, there's a stamp pad next to this, the covenant, the agreement that community members sign. This woman is signing with her thumbprint. Why? She does not know how to read and write. You go, the next morning, you're standing next to this woman, digging a hole in the ground that's going to be the foundation of the school that her children go to. And if that doesn't make you get up in the morning, I can't help it. So thanks for everything you're going to do. I'm going to turn to Terry. Really appreciate your support in our work building change. So thank you so much.
All right, so look, you heard about the church. You're helping poor people. You're helping education. You're helping kids. You're helping diversity, women's rights. It's basically checks all the boxes. I mean, and it's not political. It's so no-brainer, right, in terms of the charity. Let's get to the fun stuff now, shall we? And maybe make some change here. If I can just get that. Well, let's go to the next slide, please. Okay, we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen, real-time auction. I know what you're thinking when you go to your kid's school. They usually do this after you're drunk. But we're going to try and do this to the sober audience at lunch. We've got 3 items we're going to auction off. We got bronze, silver, and gold. If we can just advance here. So number 1 is inclusion in a canned parody video. Yeah, you get to be in the canned parody video. That's priceless. Next one up is a private plane tour over Manhattan for up to 3 people. That's an exclusive one. And then super exclusive is golf at the exclusive Bel Air Country Club for a threesome out in Los Angeles. So let's get this going, folks. First up, next slide, please. We are going to click this. All right, inclusion and parody video. I'm going to be filming at 10. If you're there, you can be in it. This invariably is priceless, but we will start the bidding at $500. Who wants to bid $500? Show of hands here. $500 to Michael. Yes. 600. Mr. Lou Pascal is 600. We're 700. 700. Nicole is 700. 800. Do I hear 800? 800. Anybody? Do I see? There? Here we go. Hang on. Where am I pointing? Show your hand. $800 for new identity, alternative identity. Yes, indeed. We got $800. Do I hear? $900 here. $900 here. We got $800 for inclusion and parody video. This is priceless, folks. By the way, lots of people end up selling their company because they're in the parody videos. You tell me. $800 going once, $800 going twice. Oh, $900. Michael, here, we got a competitive bid for the first time. $900 here, we got $1,000 over here, $1,000 over here. $1,100 for Jim. $1,100 to Mr. Gupta. Okay, do I hear $1,200? Anybody? We got $1,100 here.
Matthew.
No, $1,200 back here. Back over to alternative identity again. $1,200 over here. $1,300. Come on, the inclusion and parody video. You'll be cool to your kids. Your kids will think you're cool. That's worth a lot more. Let's go. $1,300. There we go. Do I hear $1,400? $1,400. Over to you, sir. Competitive bid. $1,400. Do I see a hand in the back? Where was it? $1,400. Jim Gupta. Okay. $1,500. Do I hear $1,500? $1,500. It's for charity, folks. $1,500. Whoa, the new bidder. Fantastic. $1,600. $1,600. All right, $1,500 going once. $1,600. Ladies and gentlemen. Do I hear $1,700? $1,800 over here. We got $1,800 going for $1,900, folks. We got 18 to the gentleman with alternative identity. Anybody else? 19? Anybody? 19? What? 1,900. Okay, even 2,000. Who's got it? $2,000. How much charity right here? $2,000. 2,100. Go ahead. 2,100. Anybody? 2,100. 21. 2,000 going once. 2,000 going twice. 2,100. Sorry. There we go. 2,100. Anybody else? Any other bidders? 2,100. We're gonna wrap this up. 2,100 going once. Going twice. Sold. Yeah, that's right. Hey, who else wants to be in the parody video? For $2,100, you too can be in the parody video. Double it up. Who wants it? You want to double it? You want to be in the parody video? $2,100. There we go. $4,200 based on a charity video. Ladies and gentlemen, that was fantastic. Okay, who knew? Let's up next slide, please. We can click. Oh, right, yeah, sit down. Yeah, okay, we did that. Okay, yes. And click one more time, please. David Cole has very generously donated a tour over Manhattan in a private aircraft. And this is worth about $2,000. We're going to start the bidding at $1,000. $1,000. Who wants to get a tour of Manhattan for $1,000? $1,000. Brian here at Front Duration Media. Let's see. Do I hear 1,200? 1,200 anyway. 1,200 going to 1,200. 1,200. Yeah, okay, 1,400. You look for 1,400. 1,400. 1,600. Anybody? 1,600. Let's go. We got 1,400. You got to fly with 3 people over Manhattan. Take a lot of pictures. All right, who in the room has a C in their title? Anybody? Okay, go. 1,400, 1,400. We got 1,400 for a private tour over Manhattan. 1,400 anymore? Anymore? 16? 16? Or you're 16? Sold. $1,400. Next up, please. All right. Oh, this one, Mr. Andy Back at Duration Media has very generously donated a foursome, including himself, at the exclusive Bel Air Country Club. Click it one more time, please. Okay, there we go. So this, I don't know if you've been, I played there last fall with Andy. This is a spectacular course, very private, can't get in. So for the golfers in the audience, or maybe it's for your company and you want your head sales guy to take out a bunch of key clients, you get them to have access to Bel Air Country Club. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll start the bidding at $1,500. This is worth close to $3,000. $1,500 from Mr. Prohaska. Do I hear 1,750? 1,750, anybody? 1,750. The lady in pink. So $2,000. I heard $2,000. Super cute. This is an amazing day. Trust me. I played golf with them. By the way, it'll include drinks, some food at the brand new clubhouse. Do I hear $2,000? Where was it? $2,000. Everybody, 2,000 golf, Bel Air, 2,000. There we go, $2,000. Do I hear 2,250? 2,250, anybody? 2,250 in the front. 2,500, anybody? Does anybody have a dog? Okay. 2,500, anybody? Anybody? 2,500. We got 2,250 in the front here. Do I hear $2,500 to have an amazing round of golf in Los Angeles? 2,250 going once. 2,250 going twice. So, ladies, let's advance this. And by the way, for all of you super disappointed people who weren't able to win one of those live auctions, please just contribute whatever you want, whatever you can, whatever you feel is in your gut. You should. This is a great charity, and I thank you guys for coming up here. Okay, next slide, please. So when we go back, we will be back to the breakout sessions.